Benzin.
Wow, Rabbi Wilhelm.
Benzin, what are you doing with my menorah?
I'm admiring it. It's so beautiful. Look at this.
Yeah, but you got sticky hands.
Yeah, all the oil,
Hello, put it down. How can I help you? It's nice. Thank you for coming to this beautiful shul. What do you think about this small but potent? You have a choice of svarim. You have a choice of nice air conditioning. You don't need now heat.
That's why I came here, for the air conditioning.
Okay, how can I help you? You have a nice Dvar Torah to say?
Well, yeah, actually, I wanted to share this with you. Now we're coming to the end of Hanukkah, and people are going to celebrate Zos Hanukkah, and it came and it goes. What's the takeaway that a person could take for Hanukkah? What's the message you could kind of take with you for the rest of the year? So I was thinking about it. This is my own little personal little dish. So I hope you enjoy it. You have Ner Hanukkah, you're lighting neris, candles. And Ner is Nun Reish. And if you flip the order, it's Reish Nun. So Reish Nun is Ran. It's Melashon Rina, Simcha. Simcha and happiness. So there's a connection between Ner, like light, and also Simcha. So you have Ner Hanukkah, you have Neris of Shabbos and Yom Tov, you have Ner Mitzvah, you have Torah also. So when a person basically is looking for a takeaway, like what can we take away from this? When somebody wants to have more happiness, everybody's obsessed with getting to be happy. They want to be happy. So what is the takeaway from Hanukkah? What's the secret that we could take regarding happiness? So if somebody wants to be Meisif in the Ran, in the Simcha, in their life, to have to be Meisif, just Hanukkah, you're like adding more candles. You have to be Meisif in Ner, or Neris. You have to Meisif in light. So you have to increase in Ner Mitzvah Torah, in mitzvahs, you have to increase in Torah learning, and this way you'll have more Neris, you'll have more Simcha.
Beautiful. Now I'll pass it over to you, and I'm going to try to add to what, and that's the proof that I wasn't prepared, because I'm going to add to what you just said. I didn't know what you're saying, right? So why is light and Simcha? What's the connection? So the answer is, when a person is in a state of confusion, he's depressed because he doesn't know direction. When you have light, you have a direction, you have what to be happy. So you need the light to know what's right and what's wrong, what to choose and what not, what to stay away from. Then you have what to be happy. If you don't know, ein vu'is, then you're a kiksil b'choshech yalach, like a fool walking in the dark. That's why light and happiness go together. You like that?
Beautiful.
Okay, so let me. You spoke about Chanukah. Let me speak a little about Parshas Vayigash on Chanukah. It happens to be that Chanukah is always Parshas Miketz, Parshas Vayigash, and let's see if we can find the heroes between the two, Sai and the Yom Tif, and Sai and the Parshas. So what are the main heroes from Chanukah? Mailim B'Kodesh. Mailim B'Kodesh is you always have to increase. You can't stay at one candle. You go from 1 to 2 to 3. You have to constantly grow. The Rebbe always says the sign of a living thing is if it grows. If it stays stable, it's not. So I heard a nice pshetel. The Parshias also, the 4 Parshias that go after each other is Vayeshev Miketz, Vayigash, Vayechi. So somebody says, Vayeshev, if you're sitting, you're not moving, it's Miketz, that's the end, you're done. Vayigash, if you're moving, especially if Vayigash is a lashon tefillah, then Vayechi, then you lebedik. Staying stable. That's one thing in the parsha. You find a very interesting one word that it's mentioned twice in last week's parsha within the same couple of psukim, and it's a difference in pshat from mikotza lakotza. When it talks about the dreams of Pare and Yosef, it says, Vatichleno shnei asava, sheva shnei asava, the 7 plentiful years finished. Vatichileno sheva shnei asava, and then the 7 hunger years started. The same word, Vatichleno, Vatichileno. But the difference is, the first time when it talks about the end of the first 7, it says it's with a chaf. When it talks about the beginning, it's with a ches. What's the difference? The same exact difference. when the chaf is shaped like this. You know how the alphabet is? The chaf is shaped
I'm learning.
The chaf is shaped like this. Chaf is shaped. The bottom of the chaf is a person laying down. He's waiting for the moon to fall. I don't know what he's resting. When a person is resting like at the bottom of a chaf, that means it's end. It's the end. When it's vatechila with the ches, they're standing firm, and laying down is a sign of yiush, giving up. Standing with 2 feet on the ground, ready to fight, that shows you're just beginning. And that's why it's vatechila is just the beginning. That's the first thing.
Nice.
And you're always mailim b'kodesh. You're always going over more and more. The next Torah we have from Chanukah, that it has to be Pesach Beisei Mibachutz. That way you don't only take care of yourself, you have to shed light to illuminate the outside. Pierce Sumanes. Yeah? So I saw a fascinating shot, but from the Meshech Chachma, who wasn't a chassid. And I see this, a beautiful shot in the Meshech Chachma. He says, from all the Avis, the Eibishter appears to the Avis and says to do this. But Yaakov is unique. It says he appeared to Yaakov b'marais halayla. Only by Yaakov, it says. He came to him in a vision by night. Why? Because Avraham is a great tzaddik, Yitzchak is a great tzaddik, but they deal with matters when it's still light, when things are still good. Yaakov, the Eibishter gave the koyach of Yaakov is even b'marais halayla, even when it's dark and tunkel and depressing. Yaakov has the power. Yaakov gives every year the power, or created. The Eibishter gave Yaakov to create the power to illuminate the darkness. And even in Maris Halayla, you see godliness. And that's why he says, Dafka Yaakov was Masakin Tfilas Arvis. Why? Avraham and Yitzchak were great tzaddikim, but they dealt with things as they're still light. Yaakov could dig into the Cheshkas Halayla and say, even their Davam Ma'ariv. And that's what Chanukah is all about. Now, there's a very famous one from the Gra. The Gra says, Vayigash, Elav. I know you get a mazel tov. Your son is bar mitzvah is coming up.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure you're practicing the trup also. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what's the trup for opening words? Vayigash, Elav, Yehuda, Vayomer bi Adaini. So it's Vayigash, Elav, Yehuda, Vayomer bi Adaini. Pretty good, huh?
Very good.
So what are those notes called?
You're hired.
What are those notes called? Vayigash, Elav, that's Kadma ve'azla, right? And Yehuda is a Revi. He says that tune, when you sing those words, it means, and why did Yehuda come? Why from all the brothers did Yehuda show up? That's the question. That's how you sing it that way. Vayigash, Elav, Yehuda. Why only Yehuda? Vayomer bi Adaini. That's a segel. A munach segel. Because, says the Gra, because Yehuda took responsibility, took arvus to responsibility for Binyamin, and therefore he had to keep Binyamin part of the segula, part of the family, part of the Yiddish nation. That's the reason he stood up more than everybody else. So even in the tone of the opening words, Vayigash Elav Yehuda, you see a Dvar Torah, how you have to care for somebody else. There's a very famous Vart also on the words Vayigash. It's brought in the Elia Rabbah and it's brought in the Pri Megadim and Shulchan Aruch that Vayigash is a Rosh Tevis. What's the Rosh Tevis? I mean, I don't even know why specifically Vayigash. If Vav Yia Gimel Shvat, if Gimel Shvat will fall out on Friday, Shele Godel V'Karya. It's going to be a big snowstorm. It's brought in the Svarim, and it's even outside. It's brought in the Elia Rabbah, and Pri Megadim quotes it. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak ben Berditchev didn't like the negative part. Oh, if it's going to be Friday, it's going to be a snowstorm. He interpreted different. I actually heard this. I was yesterday in the yeshiva in California, and I heard that the rabbi, he said a quick vart before mincha. He said this vart. He said Rabbi Levi Yitzchak ben Berditchev didn't like that if it's Friday, there's a snowstorm. Rabbi Levi Yitzchak ben Berditchev said, Vav Yia Gimel Shvat, Soy Shefa Gyodo Vizol. There will be an abundance of hashpa, shefa, and everything will be cheap. You'll be able to buy everything for very cheap. So in other words, he turned it into something positive. But I just saw a knockout vart. He says, what are we fighting now in Chanukah? Yavon. The Rebbe has that famous Simcha. Yavon is the three letters that look alike, right? I think I spoke about it in the last couple of weeks. What letter, one letter could you add to Yavon and it changes the connotation from bad to the greatest? No? One letter put before the word Yavon. Tzaddik. You put the letter Tzaddik before Yavon, it's Sion, Yerushalayim, Beis HaMikdash. When you connect to the Tzaddik, you can, like I just said, you take what Yaakov Avinu teaches you, that even in Cheshkas HaGolus, you could illuminate the world. You take whatever the heroes from the Tzaddik, you could be Mahapech, the Klippa of Yavon, to the highest level of Kedusha.
Well, I like it. Not just because my name is Ben Zion, but it's really nice.
Okay. Kol Tov, now we'll go down Mincha, right?
Kol Tov.